Games Around the World by John Peritano. Introduction. Just like me. Kids in every country around the world have a lot in common. They go to school and play. They have families and friends. Still, some things like games they play can be very different. In this game, players have to toss the ball into the can. Chapter 1. You Are It. There are many ways to play tag. In Turkey, kids play runaway rabbit. Players form a circle around one child, the rabbit. Another player, the hound, is outside the circle. The kids in the circle say a rhyme. When the rhyme ends, the rabbit runs out of the circle and is chased by the hound. In the United States, kids play duck, duck, goose, which is similar to runaway rabbit. When kids in Turkey play this game, the rabbit becomes the hound after being caught. Filipino is spoken in the Philippines. In that language, baka means cow. Children in the Philippines play a game called luksong baka. It is like a combination of tag and leapfrog, but there are two big differences. In luksong baka, players don't hop over a frog. They jump over a cow. Any jumper who touches the cow becomes the next baka. Children have been playing some sort of leapfrog for hundreds of years. In China, kids play a game called Catch the Dragon's Tail. The players form a line and hold on to the person in front of them. The person at the front or head of the dragon must try to tag the person at the end of the line. The rest of the kids twist and turn to keep the tail safe. Dragons play an important role in Chinese culture. In Catch the Dragon's Tail, if any player lets go, he or she is out. Chapter 2. Gotcha. In some games, the goal is to take something from another player. In the United States, some kids play flag football. Teams score points by carrying the ball over the goal line for a touchdown. Players on the other team try to snatch a flag hanging from the ball carrier's waist to stop him or her from scoring. In Capture the Flag, there are two teams. Each tries to steal the other's flag. A team can throw a pass for a touchdown or run the ball into the end zone. In Afghanistan, children play a game called kite fighting. Players fly their kites into each other's, hitting the strings together. The goal is to cut the strings of the other player's kite. The winner is the person whose string is uncut and whose kite is still flying. In Afghanistan, the kite fight is called jang. In Afghanistan, kite flying is considered an art. In France, children play a game called exchange. Players sit in a circle of chairs, each with a different number. One player, who is blindfolded, stands in the circle and calls out two numbers. The players in those numbered seats must switch chairs before the blindfolded player can sit on one. Exchange is similar to musical chairs, which is played in the United States. This French game is most fun when played with 10 or more players. Chapter 3. Having a ball. There are hundreds of games that can be played with a ball. In Australia, kids play kai. Players stand in a circle, and then someone throws a ball into the air. Players pass the ball to one another by smacking it with their hands. The player who lets the ball hit the ground is out. Kai can also be played with a balloon. Australia's mild weather makes it a great place for outdoor games. Soccer is one of the most popular games in the world. Outside the United States, it is called football. In Bolivia, many children play soccer in the streets. Rules can vary, but players still have to kick a ball into a goal. Some of the world's best soccer players grew up playing street soccer. Kids often play with homemade soccer balls. In Bolivia, a game of street soccer can break out at any time. Chapter 4. All the Marbles. In Indonesia, kids play ka lereng. To play the game, kids put their marbles in a group. Each player keeps one striker marble. The player takes turns shooting their striker at the group of marbles. The shooter keeps any marbles he or she hits. Kids can play marbles alone or with others. Ka lereng is also called gundu in Indonesia. In Zimbabwe, kids often use stones in place of marbles. Kududa is a game from Zimbabwe that can be played with marbles or stones. Stones are placed inside a circle. A player tosses one stone in the air and picks up as many others as possible before the tossed stone hits the ground. One thing all these games have in common is that they are fun to play. What types of games do you like to play? Kids can use marbles to play many different games, including Chinese checkers. If you lived here, let's look at some other fun games around the world. Guatemala. Trompos is a game of battling tops. The goal is for one player to knock over another's top. United States. When playing hide and seek, the seeker tries to find and tag other players before they reach home base. Ireland. Shadows is a game where one player captures another by standing on his or her shadow. India. Teams take turns chasing and defending when playing Kho-Kho, the oldest tagging game in India. Nigeria. Kids play a clapping, skip-jumping game that is a little like Follow the Leader. One player tries to guess the other player's next leg movements and mirror them. A closer look. Football takes on many forms and names depending on where people live. United States. Here, the game is played with an oblong ball. The team on offense tries to score a touchdown. The team on defense tries to stop them. Australia. A rugby ball is shaped like an American football, but is rounder. In rugby, players can run and kick the ball forward, but can only pass it backward. Ireland. In a Gaelic football game, players score by kicking or punching the ball into the other team's goal. The football is round like a soccer ball. Mexico. Association football, also called soccer, is the most popular sport in Mexico. Players try to kick or head a ball past a goalkeeper. Thailand. In Sepak Takraw, players pass the ball over a net without using their hands or arms. The small ball is made of rattan. Czech Republic. People here play a game called football, tennis, or footnet. In footnet, players kick a soccer ball back and forth over a tennis net. Foot golf is gaining popularity around the world. It is a combination of soccer and golf.